This is the brand new Continental GP5000 S TR. It's lighter, faster and has more puncture protection than its predecessor. But the big news is that it's Continental's first hookless-compatible tyre. Let me tell you all about it. Continental are one of the largest tyre manufacturers in the world. They've enjoyed success at the top level of road racing and in ultra endurance events as well. The world sat up and took note when they launched the GP5000 tyre just a few years ago. That was an update to the venerable GP4000. And when designing this new tyre, Continental have taken the time to not only meet expectations, but surpass them. I think it's really interesting that Continental have managed to update and trump the older GP5000 tyre. This new one exhibits 20% lower rolling resistance, is 50 grams lighter, has 28% more puncture protection, is hookless compatible and much easier to fit. How on earth have they managed to do all of that? A 20% reduction in rolling resistance is huge. That's in the realms of switching from your slow winter tyres to your fast summer ones. But the 20% reduction I'm talking about is when comparing the new GP5000 S TR tyre to the old GP5000 TL tyre, which is already a high performance road tyre. Let me put that into some sort of context for you. So when riding on the flat at 30 kilometers an hour, we can expect about 80% of our efforts to go into overcoming the aerodynamic drag and the drivetrain efficiency, for example, which means 20% of our effort goes into overcoming the rolling resistance generated from our tyres. Now, these ratios will vary vastly depending on how fast or slow we ride, the gradient we ride on, the road surfaces, and also the tyre pressures we're using. But in the instance that I'm talking about, we can expect around 20 to 40 watts to be gone to the rolling resistance on our tyres. So for Continental to have reduced the rolling resistance on their new tyre when compared to the already rapid old tyre by 20% is a very big deal. And it means a potential saving of around 5 watts just from changing the tyres on your bike, which might not sound like much, but it is measurable, and most importantly of all, you should be able to feel it when you're out riding. I thought it was only right to question Continental on how it's possible to create a tyre that's lighter, that's faster and more resistant to punctures, when up until now that's been a near impossible combination to have. The answer is a new patented tyre construction process. This uses a 2-ply construction over the tread area of the tyre. These 2 plies then continue down the sidewalls of the tyre, where one of the plies is then looped over the other to create a 3-ply sidewall. It's that creates the added level of puncture protection and also allows the tyre to have a lower rolling resistance. When it comes to weight, the new tyre is 50 grams lighter than the old one when you're comparing them in a 25mm width. And you don't have to be a mathematician to work out your bike has got 2 tyres, which means you can save 100 grams on a relatively low cost piece of your bike. The tyres are available in 2 different colours, black and transparent, which if you ask me is a dark tan colour, available in a 25mm width, which is 250 grams, a 28 width, which is 280 grams, a 30, which is 300 grams, and finally a 32, which is 320 grams. Now they're also going to be available in the slightly smaller 650B size in a 30 and a 32, which weigh 280 grams and 300 grams respectively. If you're wondering how they managed to reduce the weight, it's all down to the inner surface of the tyre. The old GP5000 TL could be used without the use of a tubeless sealant, although Continental did recommend it, whereas this new tyre has a different inner surface which requires the use of a tubeless sealant. If you're wondering what the TR part of the name stands for, it does stand for tubeless ready, which could lead you to the next question. But I don't use tubeless tyres. Should I still consider buying these over the GP5000 clincher? Yes, you should consider buying the new GP5000 S TR because the engineers at Continental say that it's their best all-round performing road tyre, irrespective of whether you set it up tubeless or run it with a latex inner tube. Hookless wheels and tyres have been edging their way into road bike technology for a number of years, and to have Continental join the party is a big deal. In fact, much of the hesitation from consumers about hookless tyres stemmed from the fact that up until now, Continental had previously said that their tyres weren't hookless compatible. Why? Because Continental is very particular when it comes to rider and tyre safety, but they now say that their new B technology and profile meets their own requirements as well as the ETRTO standards, that being the European Tyre and Rim Technical Organisation. This new B technology has led to an increase in tyre security and also made the tyres much easier to fit onto the wheels. All of this has been very heavily tested by Continental in order to provide you, the customer, with far more information to be able to make informed decisions on which tyres you feel are right with you. So let me share this with you because it's important to get right. All hookless tyres, when used on hookless rims, have a maximum pressure of 5 bar or 72.5 psi to be precise, irrespective of whatever width you use. And I'll put a handy little chart up on the screen to show which width tyres are compatible with which width rims. So just pause for a second and take that information in. It's also important to remember to stick to the maximum recommended pressure for the width of tyre you're using, even if you're using a hooked rim. Safety first, guys. This new tyre has been in development since 2019, and it was back then when one of Continental's lead engineers was using one of the very first prototype tyres that they realised just how fast this new construction process was. And since then, unmarked tyres have been used in the pro peloton by some of the world's best riders. Riders such as Stefan Kung and Filippo Ganna. In fact, Filippo Ganna actually used the new GP5000 S TR when he rode to victory at this year's World Time Trial Championships in a size 25mm width, set up tubeless. And his winning margin was so slim that the people at Continental say had he been on the old tyre, he wouldn't have won. For those of you who are already familiar with the older GP5000 tyre, you'll be pleased to know that the new one uses the same black chili compound, the same Vectran breaker, and the same laser grip tread pattern, all of which is tried and tested technology. The tyres I'm using are a 28mm wide, they're set up tubeless, and I'm running them on hookless rims. In the front tyre, I've got 60 psi, and in the rear, I've got 65 psi. And if you want to know just how fast and light these tyres are, well, you'll have to try them for yourself. Hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please give it a big thumbs up and let me know what you think of the new GP5000 S TR in the comments section down below. And why not share this video far and wide with all your friends so they can know all the cool details as well. See ya!